All right. Hey there, Gulf Coast. I'm NBC 15 Chief Meteorologist Thomas Gieboy. The time is currently 4:03 on this Saturday afternoon. Hope all of you are having a good day so far, and I hope all of you are keeping close tabs on the weather. During the course of this Facebook Live, this is going to be an in-depth discussion of where we currently are and where we're going to be going as we move through the rest of this afternoon into tonight. Thankfully, so far, things haven't been too adverse across the NBC 15 area. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case across portions of the Deep South, especially including areas in south central Mississippi, eastern Mississippi, and now even into portions of north central Alabama. You can even see a confirmed tornado warning moving just to the northwest of Tuscaloosa. So we are in the midst of a tornado outbreak across the Deep South. And as mentioned, so far today, our area has been spared from the severe weather. But now that we're moving from late this afternoon into the evening hours, our risk of severe weather looks to really be ramping up, just from a couple of discussions that I have seen from the Storm Prediction Center and just kind of what I've been observing with the kind of environmental conditions that we have setting up in our atmosphere. Just a short little while ago, I highlighted that this cluster of thunderstorms in George, Greene, and now into Washington County needs to be watched closely. Nothing severe at this point, but as these storms continue to work their way generally to the northeast, based on the environment that these storms are in, they will have the potential to organize, become severe, and if they become severe, then there is going to be the potential for intense or maybe even violent tornadoes, especially in the northwestern corner of our area. So the main concerns right now, at least over the next couple of hours, is mainly going to be for our inland communities, especially for the northwestern part of our area. But as we go from late this afternoon into this evening, there will be the potential that we do see the tornado watch get issued a little bit further south and a little bit further east into our coastal communities. So let's go ahead and talk about just kind of, again, where we currently stand and where we're going. And for those of you that are just tuning in, the time is currently 4:05 on this Saturday afternoon. And I'm NBC 15 Chief Meteorologist Thomas Gieboy, and Meteorologist Kelly Foster is here as well. We are going to be here as long as the threat of severe weather continues for the NBC 15 area. So we'll be with you until the threat comes to an end. So just looking over the last several hours, you can see thunderstorms have been steadily working their way from west to east. And this came in a few hours ago, but we still have the tornado watch for our northwestern communities. So this includes George County, Greene County in Mississippi, Washington County, Clark, Monroe, and Conecuh County. That tornado watch isn't your run-of-the-mill tornado watch. This is a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch, and it simply means that strong tornadoes are going to be a possibility within this watch. And I want to progress this one more map forward, just because the area that you see highlighted, this is a Storm Prediction Center mesoscale discussion, and basically what they do when it comes to watching severe weather, they highlight areas that they're taking a very close interest on and areas that need to be watched extra closely. And you can see for the northwestern part of our area, and that really does extend into portions of west central Alabama, maybe even into the northern portions. But within that region, again, including the northwestern part of our area, they indicated that multiple supercells capable of intense or violent tornadoes will persist into the evening, which is why anything that develops in this region just needs to be watched closely. So for anybody basically from northern George into Mobile County and then through our northwestern communities, mainly Greene, Washington, Clark counties, you need to be staying extra aware of what's happening with the weather and make sure that you have that plan. But most recently in from the Storm Prediction Center, as you can see the area highlighted down to the south, which includes most of our coastal communities. And they highlighted that area because they indicated that a tornado watch may need to be issued in the next few hours for our coastal communities. So really, no matter where you are across the NBC 15 area, as we go through the rest of this afternoon and mainly into this evening into tonight, we'll need to be on guard for that potential. And I also posted this just a short while ago as well. But this is the updated look at the Storm Prediction Center severe risk map. And compared to earlier today, you'll notice that the high risk has been shifted slightly down to the southeast. So now it encompasses more of Greene, Washington, and Clark County, and this is no surprise based on that mesoscale discussion that we saw. And in that area, that is going to be the highest risk for intense to violent tornadoes. But across the rest of the NBC 15 area, stretching from Jackson County, Mississippi, all the way to Okaloosa County in northwest Florida, it is still a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk. And remember, the moderate risk, there's nothing moderate about it. It tells you that numerous severe storms are likely. Now, keep in mind, within this moderate risk, not everyone may see severe weather. And so far today, things have been relatively quiet, but I don't want that to make you let your guard down, because any severe storm that we see develop through the rest of this afternoon into tonight, no matter where you are across the NBC 15 area, will have the potential to produce significant severe weather. And significant severe weather is defined as strong tornadoes, EF2+, damaging straight-line wind gusts in excess of 75 miles per hour, and large hail 2 inches plus in diameter. Again, not everyone may see severe weather across our stretch of the Gulf Coast, but that potential does exist for everyone. What we're going to do is hope for the best, and we're gonna prepare for the worst. So it's always better to be over-prepared and not need that preparation compared to vice versa. Of course, we'll keep our fingers crossed that things can stay as quiet as they possibly can, but given the environmental conditions that are currently set up along our stretch of the Gulf Coast, any storm that develops, again, can't stress enough, will have the potential to produce significant severe weather. So let's go ahead and start the forecast tracker. I'm going to start this at 5 o'clock. And I think at this point, the forecast model is doing a decent job, but what it isn't really showing all that well is the potential of seeing those isolated storms that develop ahead of the main line. Because if you remember just a short while ago when I was showing you the radar, we're starting to see those storms develop in North Mobile County, George County, Greene County, and Washington County. So that just goes to show that storms can develop ahead of this main cluster of storms. It could either be a squall line when it moves in, or it can be a broken line of storms. Now, if it's a cohesive squall line, typically those squall lines, they're more capable of, the main concern with those are mainly damaging straight line winds. But if it stays a broken line of storms, then the tornado risk will stay that much higher as we go from late this afternoon into this evening. So as I play this forward, and I'm going to stop this, say, around 7 o'clock, you can see storms really working their way now to the I-65 corridor. And by this point, since forecast models can go a little bit faster or slower, you would anticipate basically anybody along and west of Mobile Bay will have that potential of seeing severe storms. So that does even include Mobile. Again, this is at 7 o'clock based on this one particular forecast model. And what this is showing is instead of a cohesive line, you have that broken line of storms, which again, any storms that develop as they're working their way west to east across our area could produce significant severe weather. Then from 8 to 9 o'clock, storms starting to push east of I-65. And then as we go from 8 to 9 o'clock, storms starting to work their way mainly through northwest Florida. And as you can see, the forecast tracker is picking up on the potential of seeing strong storms. But again, not everyone may see severe weather. So we'll just, again, keep our fingers crossed, but you need to be prepared just in case a warning is issued for your location. By 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, most forecast models then have storms moving away, and as we approach daybreak on Sunday, the weather will calm down significantly, and the weather for Sunday looks fantastic. We just need to get through tonight first. So looking at the code red reminders through the rest of today into tonight, just make sure that you're prepared. Again, I can't stress enough, it's always better to be over-prepared and not need your preparation than the alternative. Have a plan that includes multiple ways to receive alerts and know where your safe place is. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to also make sure that your safe place is good to go as well. Maybe have the helmet, the mattress, that way you can cover yourself up, maybe to protect yourself from falling debris. Have your shoes, and then also have your portable phone chargers when you go, if you have to go to your safe place, just to make sure that you're good to go in the event a warning is issued for you. As we've already seen, we could see long breaks in the weather, and everyone may not see severe weather, but a significant risk exists for everybody. And that's why we're talking about this at length, because some of you might get through today and say, what was all the hoopla for, while other spots could see significant severe weather. And as we've already seen for areas to our north and to our west, there has been significant severe weather across the Deep South. But what you can do is you can be a hero. Pass on this information to others if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the like and share button on this video. That way you can reach as many people as you possibly can. And if you still plan on going out and about through the rest of this afternoon into this evening, know where you would go if a warning does end up getting issued for your location. It's all about being prepared on days like today. So right now, here's a live look outside. This is our Beau Rivage tower camera looking towards downtown Mobile. It's warm, it's hazy, it's just humid. It feels almost summer-like when it comes to the humidity, not when it comes to the temperature, but when it comes to the humidity. The wind right now is sitting out of the south-southeast at 28 miles per hour. Earlier this afternoon, we recorded a wind gust of 52 miles per hour at Mobile Regional Airport. And as we go through the rest of this afternoon, more or less through tonight, non-thunderstorm wind gusts will be frequently around 40 to 50 miles per hour and could see some gusts upwards of 55 miles per hour. So if you haven't tied things down in your yard, I know I put up my daughter's toys before I left the house today. It might be a good idea to do the same as well. We do have a wind advisory currently in place until midnight tonight, and that goes across the entire NBC 15 area. Sustained winds at this point mainly between 20 and 30 miles per hour, with gusts maybe upwards and even exceeding 45 miles per hour, as we have seen in some cases. But when you see a strong southerly wind like this, typically that does lead to issues down in the Gulf. And we do have a coastal flood advisory in effect for Jackson County, Mobile County, and Baldwin County until 10 o'clock this evening. So for those lowest lying areas, including parts of the causeway on Mobile Bay, we could see some minor coastal flooding. That's one thing that you want to keep in mind if you are going to be traveling as we go into the evening hours. We also have a high surf warning for all of our beaches, waves 6 to 9 feet in the surf zone. That high surf warning is going to continue into tomorrow morning. Just stay out of the water. Even though we have seen some sunshine in spots, especially in our northwest Florida beaches, you don't want to get into the Gulf today. And then for our coastal lakes and bays, including Mobile Bay, and then offshore, there is an active gale warning that's going to continue through midnight tonight. And once that gale warning goes away, it's going to be replaced with a small craft advisory because it's going to stay breezy through tomorrow. Just winds will be more out of the west and out of the northwest compared to the south that we're seeing out there today. So once we get to daybreak tomorrow morning, significantly calmer weather, and the nice weather looks like it's going to carry us through St. Patrick's Day, even through most of next week. Just a slight chance for showers late Wednesday into early Thursday, as temperatures will be staying near or even above our seasonal averages. So let me go ahead and go back to the radar and just kind of go back to where we currently stand once again. And again, we started this Facebook Live shortly after 4 o'clock, but just as a couple of quick programming notes, myself, Chief Meteorologist Thomas Gieboy, and Meteorologist Kelly Foster will be here through the afternoon through tonight until the risk of severe weather is over. If we do see tornado warnings across the NBC 15 area, you are first going to see us on NBC 15 TV. So that is going to be your best way to stay up to date with what's happening. You can also download the NBC 15 weather app. It's got a built-in radar, and if you set it up for your location, it will give you alerts based on your location. One of the great ways to stay alerted to the changing weather, and it's one of the multiple ways that you can have to make sure that you are notified if there is severe weather in your area. But when we're on NBC 15 TV, we'll also try to make sure that we have that on our live streaming function on our website, mynbc15.com. And you can even just do that on a normal day. If you're not able to watch our show on TV, you can always do so on our live stream, again, mynbc15.com in the watch portion. And if we're covering severe weather, you'll likely see us on our live stream, and then if we're able to, we'll also try to make sure that our live coverage goes to Facebook Live as well. So those are going to be the ways that you can keep up to date with what is currently happening. But just again, as that quick overview, as of right now, there are no active severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings across the NBC 15 area. As we go throughout the rest of this afternoon into this evening, we'll likely see changes to that. At this point, we are keeping a watchful eye on the storms that are currently working their way through Washington County. They're generally moving to the northeast. So if you're in especially Clark County, you need to be watching these storms very carefully. But you can also start to see that some cells are trying to get going from Jackson, George, into the northwestern part of Mobile County. Again, that main risk zone, especially over the next couple of hours, will be for our northwestern communities. And you can see it's highlighted from George into northern Mobile, and then goes into Olive Green, Washington, and Clark counties. That's going to be the zone over the next few hours where we're going to have to keep the closest eye on. But then as we go from the latter stages of this afternoon, more or less into the evening into tonight, there is a chance that within the next couple of hours we do see a tornado watch get issued for our coastal communities. So we're going to be watching all this very closely as we go through the next few hours. Make sure that you continue to stay tuned with what's happening with the weather, and we'll continue to keep you posted on air, online, and through social media. And if you guys ever have any questions, I know I won't be able to answer any during the course of this Facebook Live, you can always find me on my Facebook page, Thomas Gieboy Meteorologist. Just send me a message, and I'll do the best that I can to get back to you as quickly as I can. But we'll continue to, again, provide you these updates, so make sure that you stay tuned, stay on top of the weather, and remember, we're code red to give you that heads up that there is that potential for significant severe weather as we go through the rest of today and into tonight.